and this week on Sea Camp Extra Credit, we are talking reef fish and eels. We're going big with the biggest fish in the ocean, the whale shark. We're going to give you a few facts about it, some problems, and how you can help these animals out in the wild. So stay tuned.
Pop quiz. What are whale sharks? A whale. B, a shark. C, a mutant alien. D, all of the above. That's right, it's B, a shark.
So some fun facts about whale sharks. Whale sharks are actually the ocean's largest fish. They can grow up to 42 feet long, and they spend all day with their mouths wide open, cruising through the ocean, pushing water through their mouths to eat plankton. They're called ramjet filter feeders, and a 20-foot long whale shark can actually filter up to 21,000 cubic feet of water per hour. They are an endangered species. Unfortunately, they are listed on the IUCN Red List as endangered. And so whale sharks, they need our help. So here's some ways we can help them. So what's a problem facing whale sharks today? One of the biggest problems they face out in the ocean is actually because they're filter feeders, they're ingesting more and more microplastic. Microplastic is just regular plastic that we've thrown into the ocean as humans that actually break down smaller and smaller and smaller until it becomes really hard to see for us and remove, and almost indistinguishable for filter feeders like whale sharks. We have some right here. It's just a little container. We took all this microplastic, washed up on our local beach. We spent some time collecting it. If you're interested in doing a beach cleanup, you should definitely head out there and keep your local beach clean. If you want to know what you can do with this kind of stuff after you've found it, you can actually click over here for our video, our craft video of the week. You can head over and see Caitlin do her microplastic art. Very, very cool.
Did you know that a full-grown adult whale shark is as long as a school bus?
According to our friend Travis over at the Hawaii Uncharted Research Collective, he actually says that the danger of ingesting microplastic for large filter feeders is because the microplastics are so small, not only are they obstructing their stomachs or bowels, but they can also be blocking the uptake of nutrients. So it's like having your stomach feel nice and full, but it's not food, it's plastic.
Did you know that whale sharks have teeth? They have about 3,000 tiny teeth in their mouths.
For more information about whale sharks and another cool opinion from somebody who's had some close first-hand experiences, we're gonna head over to my good friend Ross. Ross, take it away, buddy.
Aloha everybody, my name is Ross. I am a scuba diving instructor and photographer here at Jack's Diving Locker, and today I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about whale sharks. So, whale sharks are the largest fish in the world, but even though they are so big, they are very, very peaceful animals. Now, because they are so big, they do have to eat a lot of food every day. In fact, a baby whale shark can eat up to 46 pounds of plankton per day. You can only imagine how much a fully grown adult has to eat. And that's a lot of animals when you're talking about something that only gets to be about that big.
Did you know? Whale sharks are one of 3 species of sharks that filter feed: whale sharks, basking sharks, and megamouth sharks.
Now, I have been lucky during my time here in Hawaii to be in the water with some whale sharks, and every time my reaction is basically the same. I get very, very excited because they are so magnificent and they're so beautiful, but you can't help but have a sense of awe when you're staring face to face with one of the world's largest creatures. I have also had the honor of getting to name one of Hawaii's whale sharks. Now, if you're in the water with the whale shark and you happen to take some photographs of it, you can submit it to Hawaii Uncharted, and they'll go back through their catalog and see if it has already been identified. The way that they identify these creatures is they look for distinctive markings on them, like cuts, scratches, abrasions, but they also look at the dot patterns on the back. And every dot pattern is unique to every whale shark, very similar to how all of our fingerprints are unique just to us. Now, when I submitted my photos, it had not been cataloged yet, so I got naming rights of my whale shark, and I decided to name it Bremer, after my college professor Carolyn Bremer, who was a fantastic photographer and a big mentor of mine, and I wanted to honor her by naming her after one of her favorite creatures in the ocean, the whale shark. Now, unfortunately, whale sharks are under threat, mainly due to microplastics. Over time, the bigger pieces of plastic break down into tinier pieces of plastic, and now it's floating around everywhere in our oceans. Now, unfortunately, whale sharks cannot tell the difference between what's food and what's plastic, and so they end up ingesting a lot of plastic along with the plankton that they eat. In fact, a study done recently in Indonesia found that whale sharks can consume up to 137 pieces of plastic per hour. Now, over time, that plastic accumulates in their body and can eventually cause irreversible damage and may even lead to death. So it's very, very important that we make sure to keep the plastics out of the ocean and waterways to help these gentle giants live rich, fulfilling lives. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about one of my favorite underwater creatures. And remember, take care of our ocean environment and help reduce our plastic use. You have the power to be the change that you want to see in the world. Aloha.
Thanks, Ross. That was really great information. Thanks for sharing. But let's talk now about some solutions. What can you do to help whale sharks and reduce microplastics in the ocean? Well, the easiest thing to do is actually to follow the 5 R's. 5 R's are refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and ROC. Let's get into a little bit about what that means. Refuse. So what you want to go ahead and do is refuse any single-use plastic if you can. So if you get takeaway, you can go ahead and not accept those plastic forks. Use the forks you have at home. 2, reduce. Right? Go ahead and reduce the things you buy if you don't really need them. If you buy something at the store and you don't really need it, eventually it becomes trash and will end up in the ocean. 3, reuse. So if you have something and it was single use and you think you can get another use out of it, go ahead and use it. So if you have a plastic water bottle that you got and you want to reuse it, fill it up with water again. Don't just throw it away. 4 is recycling. Recycling is actually a little harder to do than most people think. Different states and different counties have different rules, but if at all possible, make sure everything that can be recycled gets recycled to have new life. And lastly, rot. This is all about composting. Composting your food scraps, composting anything you have around the house can actually help it stop going to a landfill. If you want to learn more about recycling in Hawaii specifically, or just a fun challenge you can do at home with your recycling, head right here to see our activity video of this week. Watch Toby and Russell run a recycle relay race. So guys, thanks for joining us and learning a little bit more about whale sharks and microplastics and what you can do to help reduce your microplastic footprint. Join us next week on Sea Camp Extra Credit for more ways to stay connected to the ocean at home. And as always, we leave you with the joke of the week.
Ahoy, mateys! I have a joke for you. How much food does a whale shark eat? A plankton! Ha 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 ha!